the Democratic Alliance's federal executive has resolved to withdraw from the national dialogue with immediate effect. We will also actively mobilize against it in order to stop the obscene waste of 740 million rand of public money, starting with a call on all civil society bodies in South Africa to join us in demanding that the dialogue not proceed until President Ramaphosa fires ANC corrupt individuals in the national executive. Because the reality is, no matter what the dialogue resolves, no matter how many noble resolutions it may take, and no matter how many feel-good moments it has, nothing will change in South Africa for the better if we keep the same people around the cabinet table who have involved themselves in corruption, maladministration, and misleading of Parliament. The dialogue also has no constitutional standing whatsoever to take or impose decisions. Plus, I make the point that we have already had a national dialogue last year. It's called an election. And the people said very clearly in that election that they do not want to have anything to do with ANC one-party arrogance or domination. A second and critically important step that the DA is taking is to vote against upcoming departmental budget votes for the departments headed by Similani Nkabane and other corruption-accused ANC ministers. A further step that was considered by the federal executive was the tabling of a motion of no confidence in the president. We understand the concerns that many South Africans have about what would follow or could follow if Ramaphosa was removed from office. Now, while the FedEx decided not to table a motion of no confidence at this stage, it is clear that the DA is in the process of losing confidence in the president's ability to act as a leader, not only of the ANC, but of the GNU, of which we are the second largest component. And if the ANC fails to course correct, the federal executive will seriously considering exercising our constitutional prerogative by tabling a motion of no confidence in the president. Our withdrawal and mobilization against the national dialogue, as well as our opposition against the budgets of corruption-accused ministers, is the first in a series of possible steps that are now on the table in an attempt to fix the GNU to align with the mandate that you have given all of us in the 2024 election. I love this country. My 3 daughters and my family are South Africans. We hold no passport for any other country, and that is why I've dedicated the better part of my life to serving South Africa and to make sure that I can build a better place for my children and the children of all South Africans in a country that provides opportunity for more people, provides a better future to our yesterday. I'm not going to sit back and watch the country that I love be completely destroyed by demagogues and those who seek to divide us, those who thrive on hatred, those who regard killing people as a solution to problems rather than dialogue and talking together. And that is what drives the DA, and that is why we're not going to walk out on the GNU, and we're not going to walk out on South Africa, and we're not going to walk out on the people who are looking to us to show the leadership that's required in this country to get it moving forward.
The Democratic Alliance is threatening to bring forth a motion of no confidence against President Cyril Ramaphosa. The party is calling out the double standards of Ramaphosa and his failure to deal with corrupt cabinet officials. This came after the leader, John Steenhuisen, announced on Saturday the party's immediate withdrawal from the Government of National Unity's new national dialogue, citing a breakdown in trust and accusing Ramaphosa of shielding corruption-accused African National Congress ANC ministers. Steenhuisen criticized Ramaphosa for allegedly breaching the GNU's founding statement of intent and for what he called a pattern of arrogance, disrespect and double standards by the ANC in its handling of coalition politics. Until President Ramaphosa replaces words with action against corruption within his own ranks, the DA sees no further point in wasting our breath breath in endless talk shops with the ANC, said Steenhuisen. Effective immediately, the DA will have no further part in this process. The Democratic Alliance DA is threatening to bring forth a motion of no confidence against President Cyril Ramaphosa. The party is calling out the double standards of Ramaphosa and his failure to deal with corrupt cabinet officials. This came after DA leader John Steenhuisen announced on Saturday the party's immediate withdrawal from the Government of National Unity's New National Dialogue, citing a breakdown in trust and accusing Ramaphosa of shielding corruption-accused African National Congress ANC ministers. Steenhuisen criticized Ramaphosa for allegedly breaching the GNU's founding statement of intent and for what he called a pattern of arrogance, disrespect and double standards by the ANC in its handling of coalition politics. Until President Ramaphosa replaces words with action against corruption within his own ranks, the DA sees no further point in wasting our breath in endless talk shops with the ANC, said Steenhuisen. Effective immediately, the DA will have no further part in this process. Earlier this year, Whitfield was part of a week-long trip to the US. However, the DA said the trip was not conducted in Whitfield's position as a government representative, but rather as provincial leader of the DA in the Eastern Cape. While Whitfield sent an apology to the president, Ramaphosa still issued his dismissal letter and invited the DA to submit a replacement. The flagrant double standard that protects the likes of Thembi Simelane and Noble Nabane, but acts against Whitfield proves that, in the ANC's universe, the only things you dare not be are competent, honest, and hard-working, Steenhuisen said. The party further vowed to vote against the budgets of corrupt ministers and boycotting Ramaphosa's extravagant, a $700 million national dialogue talk shop, as long as ANC members of the executive implicated are in corruption, misleading of parliament, and other acts of malfeasance remain around the cabinet table. The DA will not support their departmental budgets in parliament and will not participate in the national dialogue, the party said. The ANC has shot back at the DA and stated that any possible motion of no confidence against President Ramaphosa would be deemed as the DA's walkout from the new. ANC spokesperson Mbalula Siri said, "This could be the end of the DA in the new. I can say with certainty that that motion will not pass in the House. And if the DA decides to do that, they're essentially saying that they have walked out of the new. We know that they have been planning, or a particular group within the DA has been planning, the matter of passing a motion of no confidence. We were expecting that this is what was going to be spoken about. But we do want to say that should they take that course of action, the ANC would be ready to make sure that we defend," Siri said. Like and subscribe for more. Thanks.